So your first step is to decide what kind of landscape that you're going to do and to pencil out your landscape. Now here I have a little beach scene, a little Hawaiian beach scene. I've got a volcano here. And I think I'm going to have a little lava flowing out here too. Go out, a little lava flowing. Well, you could do something similar to mine, but I don't want you to do the same thing, obviously. Now, each space is going to have what we call line work. Line work is where you create a pattern of lines for each space, and each space is a different pattern. So, for example, if I'm going to have curved lines. Oh, first thing you have to do, of course, is go over this. You're going to go over this in Sharpie. Go over all of your pencil in Sharpie. And you do your whole landscape, go over it in Sharpie. Then you're going to create a pattern of lines for each shape. So, for the trunk of my palm tree, I'm going to do these curved lines, which is kind of realistic, but then I'm going to abstract it a little bit and I'm going to do these pointed lines for my palm tree here.
Oh, that looks
or
beautiful.
we're just doing lines. Okay, then for, I've got my volcano here. I'm going to go over my volcano. Now for the inside of my volcano, what I might do is I might make some curved lines, some horizontal lines like this. And then for my lava, I might make a pattern of squiggly lines.
That looks beautiful.
Thank you. And then here is my palm tree again.
Can you do different stuff? Even though you have the same thing?
Yes, you may. In fact, I would encourage you to. Okay, now for my ocean, I would do different lines for my ocean. For my beach, I might do something completely different. Like for my beach, I might just do little dash lines. And I would fill my whole beach up with these little dash lines.
So our picture's just going to be all black?
Well, and then the reason why we're using Sharpie is because then we're going to paint right over the Sharpie,
Oh.
and the lines will still show up.
Pink.
So see how my beach is all that?
Yep.
And then for my mountain, I might do something like a crazy pattern. Do line work like that. See, my pattern here is just straight lines and it going on all kinds of different directions like that.
Do they have to be even lines?
Nope. But it does have to make sense within your artwork. I'm going to show you some examples on the board from other classes from last year. We're going to see how they did those. And while we're looking at those, I want you to be thinking about what yours are going to look like. Okay? All right. Well, it's up to you what each thing's going to look like. Okay? And then, of course, the sky has to have line work too. And maybe for the sky, I'm going to indicate that it's windy by doing curly lines and lines that follow that. If that's part of your picture to do clouds, you may do clouds, but the clouds then have to have their own kind of line work. So So if I have a cloud over here, and I do a happy little cloud like this, it's going to have to be different than my wind lines. Maybe it's going to be a bunch of curls, a bunch of curved lines like this.
Whoa, that looks pretty.
See? And then I would have my swirly wind for the air, and then it would look like it's two different spaces. And that comes around, and that comes around. Okay, so let's take a minute to look at some of last year's work, and then I'll finish this up later and show you the next step after this next week.